How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of Czig Meister up in this piece. It's been a minute since we did a little bit of Czig in the form of the Tidal offering. Yeah, this is a Scotch Wee Heavy coming in at 9.9%, and this can comes courtesy of my boy Oak Ridge. I don't do a ton of Czig Meister beer reviews since pretty much the pandemic started. I just don't go to breweries. I don't go out all that much, and and even though they are local to me and I've ordered beer from them during the pandemic, it's been a lot of drinking beer. So I'm kind of excited to dive into this because I love me some wee heavies. And Matt and the Czig Meister crew does a really good job of classic offerings. Their double barrel Dark Sovereign is like so good. Go watch my review of that. I love that beer. And they do such a good job with their beers across the board. I'm kind of a dum-dum for not drinking them more often. Label-wise, it's alright. I've never been a huge fan of Czig Meister's labels, but is what it is. And as far as beers go, I mean, it looks the part of a wee heavy, but also looks like barley wine, also looks like iced tea. It looks like a bunch of different things. You see that head on there? Got a little bit of malted malt ball color going on. A little dew to water brown. Let's see if we get a nose. So this is in the can. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So it's been in the can for, what's that, 9 months. There's some oxidation in here. Not like beer destroying, like I don't want to drink it oxidation. But there's some oxidation in there. There's a little bit of acetone kind of alcohol kind of fumes from this. And again, very minimal. The reason why I mention that is because there's really not a big malty or smoky or peaty kind of thing that I would typically look for in a wee heavy ale to back it up. Now, full disclosure, I've had this beer before. I don't remember the nose being like this, so maybe that's that age in a can is doing it that way. But it's not a negative nose, even though I'm saying there's a soft oxidation. I don't mind a little bit of soft oxidation in a big burly kind of wee heavy like this. That little bit of acetone thing I get every now and then in some beers. It's more a nose than a tasting, so it never really kind of does me overtly dirty. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's a negative nose. It's just not necessarily an overtly positive nose either. Yeah, soft sweetness, those little bit of bits and pieces going on. I'm just going to dive in. Cheers. It's fun. You can tell it has time on it. The oxidation has definitely played a part in the beer as far as tempering some of the vibrance of the beer and kind of just making it not as snappy. Not that you want wee heavies to be snappy, but you want a little bit of volume to them, especially one at 10%. It's got this nice kind of Doppelbock kind of vibe to it going on, soft richness, like Imperial Doppelbock, lager vibes to it without that lagering going on. Nice soft mouthfeel to it. It leans into like a slightly sweetened brown sugar bready characteristic. Nothing too crazy, but it's definitely that sweetness and that richness is definitely there. There's a little bit of tannic kind of tea-like vibes to the beer. I assume that's coming from a soft hop addition. Done and done. I like this. It's fun. It's not groundbreaking stuff. It's not my favorite wee heavy in the world, but I'm glad I got to drink it. It just reminds me of some of these beers that I really do dig on and I rarely kind of turn back towards. Wee heavies are one of them. A lot of Belgian stuff. A lot of these bigger, darker, older beers that used to be a mainstay, a staple of what I used to drink back in the day just aren't a part of it now because this dude can't be crushing 10%ers on the reg. But it's a fun beer and a tasty beer. I'm glad I got to do it. So thank you very much, Oak Ridge. And that's pretty much it. Let's talk about it. Is this one of the better wee heavies I've had as of late? I don't want to keep it out, but I don't want to put it in, that kind of thing. So let's put this one in limbo. I don't have a ton of them. It's a tasty beer. It's a fine beer, but I expect a little bit more personality from a wee heavy. Lean in some direction. That Pete Moss thing, the smoky thing, even a rich kind of almost like Imperial Baltic Porter kind of thing. Sometimes as wee heavies kind of lean into. This, like I said, comes off as more of a non-lager Doppelbock. which is not a negative thing. But I think the time in this can and the oxygen that was in this can might have done this beer a little bit dirty. So it's not a negative beer by any stretch, but a fun beer, a fine beer. Value and availability, I would assume something like this would come from Czig Meister. My guess would be right around $14, no, $12 a 4-pack, only because it's in 12-ounce cans, I'm assuming, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like darker beers, richer beers, maltier beers. Even I'd go far as to say, like, outside of the wee heavy Scotch ale realm. If you like, barley wine, you like Belgian darks, you like all those kind of things, Doppelbocks, those kind of things, and you like your maltier beers, and this is definitely going to do all kinds of proper. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Beer Massif. If you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little bit of Czig Meister right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.